What an occasion, so many good people here today. Congratulations to Dale and to Dr. Sung. I am especially honored to celebrate this day with Lori Davis, who is a treasured member of my congregation. Over the years, I have enjoyed working alongside Lori and Michael Davis. I have witnessed many times how effective is their leadership in our community. And Mazel Tov also to Norman Shiner and Bradley Goldhar. We are all directly or indirectly strengthened by your commitment and your leading example with ICRF. I'm not only touched, but truly proud to know that so many congregants and colleagues from Holy Blossom Temple are here today. You are too many to name, but you know who you are, and I know who you are. You are here because you believe wholeheartedly in the work of ICRF, as do I. When Norman Shiner called with this very special invitation, I was, of course, very honored, but truth be told, it was not an easy yes. ICRF is a remarkable organization led by remarkable people. So why did Norman's call catch me off guard? Because my cancer story, thank God, is not remarkable, and that is how I would like it to remain. Thank you very much. Yes, I have a few war stories from surgery, chemo, radiation, multiple hormone therapies, and a number of persistent side effects, but fortunately, my cancer was a type the doctors know a lot about. And fortunately, I live in a time and a place where I have access to the finest treatments we have to date. And fortunately, I have resources of all kinds, most importantly, family, friends, and an extraordinary community to support my children, my husband, and me. I count my many blessings, and I consider myself lucky on all fronts. So, my only credential for this very special award, if any at all, is that I am a rabbi. I've only spoken publicly once before about my cancer journey. Although I play a public role in the Jewish community, I am actually a pretty private person. It was, as mentioned, one sermon on one holy day, last Rosh Hashanah, the Jewish New Year, when I was still in the midst of radiation and still muscling my way through the effects of some rough and tough chemo. My husband Adam rightly said, if I didn't speak of it, it would be the elephant in the room. And so, in good faith, I shared with my congregation some personal reflections set against the backdrop of a day entirely devoted to the themes of life and death, of taking stock. Rosh Hashanah is when we thank God for our lives and humbly ask for more of it. With nothing but prayer in our hands, we stand shoulder to shoulder then with fellow Jews, and we ask for more life. I suppose that is, in fact, what we are doing here together today, asking for more life. What I did not anticipate was what would become of the audio recording of that one sermon. To my surprise, it took on a life of its own. Nearly 10,000 people from far and wide have listened to that sermon. Many have shared it, sent it on to friends who are struggling with their own illness or with the illness of someone they love. And I still don't really understand why it caught on the way it did. But my hunch tells me that it has something to do with a deep desire among many who most of the time live very happily in a secular world. But when push comes to shove, they need more. When the shoe drops and we are shaken to the core, we need the language and the ritual to address matters of the spirit. Therapy and pills and yoga will take us so far, but many people quietly seek an intelligent faith, which is not a crutch, nor an escape, nor an easy answer, but intelligent faith that gives insight, encouragement, and can be an anchor when we might otherwise drift away from the life we so desperately wish to hold on to. So how does a person of faith work through her suffering? By division of labor, division of responsibility among my doctors, myself, and my God. The doctor's job is to treat the patient. The patient's job is to embrace the treatments, including eating well and exercising and getting enough rest, which I am still working on. And God's job? God's job is to make both the doctors and the patient brave in our respective pursuits. I don't believe God places one cell like this and another cell like that, but I do believe that God is the power we tap into to heal. And again, it seems that is what we are doing here together today, healing. If I were to give these words a title, it would be God in the Laboratory. When I visit my congregants in the hospital or by the bedside, I believe God is there too, but today I want to call attention to God in the laboratory. A young girl once asked Einstein if he believes in God, and he took her question seriously and answered, "Everyone who is seriously involved in the pursuit of science becomes convinced that a spirit is manifest in the laws of the universe, a spirit with a capital S, vastly superior to that of man." I imagine the heroes of cancer research are motivated by something similar, even if it goes unarticulated. To devote one's life to the small and significant question is to pursue the spirit of the laws of the universe. Scientists in cancer research are doing holy work. They treat their laboratories like sanctuaries. There are rules of purity there, rules of exact, precise timing, and rules of devotion. Tomorrow I leave for Israel, a social justice trip with my congregation. There we will witness how scientists and judges, rabbis and activists, artists and farmers work to make true the words that we said at our Passover Seder tables just 10 days ago, Bashana Haba'a B'Yerushalayim, next year in Jerusalem. For some, this is an expression of our longing to return to the sacred land of Israel, but for all who say next year in Jerusalem, it is a proclamation of the age-old Jewish belief that there is a better world yet to be created, that constant striving for a world where there is no pain and no one is afraid. This, I'm sure, is part of what drives the ICRF scientists in their laboratories. They are determined not only to better understand the mysteries of God's world, the cell, and the sequencing of a genome, but also to make our world more whole, more kind, more courageous. We have every reason to invest our hope in these physicians. As a rabbi and as a grateful patient, I believe that the source of their brilliance, the original source of their drive and determination, the primary source of their ultimate successes, is the God of life and the God of all mysteries. So let me conclude now with a blessing for the women and the men who devote their lives to cancer research. There is a blessing for just about everything in Jewish life. And today is a day to honor those who are enabling us to live longer and better with and without cancer. This bracha, this blessing, celebrates the great work of great minds and calls attention to God who created their brilliance, God who is right there with them, watching over their shoulders in the laboratories, and God who delights in their successes. Baruch atah Adonai, Eloheinu melech haolam, shenatan michvodo levasar vadam. Praised are you, eternal our God, sovereign of the universe, who has given a measure of your glory, a measure of your brilliance to flesh and blood. Amen.